Hello, I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the Strategy Room. Donald Trump is facing new questions over his controversial plan to temporarily ban Muslims from entering the U.S. Experts say the businessman is backpedaling his proposal as he lags behind Democratic rival Hillary Clinton in the polls, but his campaign denies this. Joining me now to weigh in are Democratic strategist David Mercer and Republican strategist Brad Blakeman. Welcome to you both.
Thanks. Good to be with you.
Brad, let me start with you. So is Trump softening his call to ban Muslims, and he's trying to make this sort of more of a nuanced policy issue?
Sure he is, but the crux of what he's saying back when he first announced his policy to today doesn't change, and that is we should not be letting anybody in this country, I don't care who they are, unless it can be verified what their intent is, who they are, why they're coming, and why they need to come. So yes, Donald Trump is having nuanced policy based on facts, and I'm glad he's doing it. I certainly didn't agree with his ban on Muslims, and I'm happy to see that he's changed his mind.
Yeah. So David, how do you read his sort of maybe, I guess, backpedaling is the best way to put it? How do you read this?
I read it as backpedaling, and I read it as him trying to have it as typical of Trump, having it both ways. You know, he used the Muslim ban to incite a lot of and create a lot of fear-mongering in order to get to where he is now and winning the nomination. But knowing that he's got to expand beyond the base, 49% along with Brad Blakeman and leaders of the House and the Senate, GOP leaders, disagree with the policy, and he's not going to have the reach in bringing in voters to get elected if he continues with the Muslim ban. I also believe that, you know, look, while he may be changing statements and trying to have it both ways, you know, he may be trying to change his policy, but Donald Trump is Donald Trump, and the big question is, Donald Trump going to change? I doubt it. And you're going to see him echo this again, and because it's hard to change Donald Trump.
Okay, Brad, Carl Palladino, who's the 2010 Republican gubernatorial nominee in New York, and he's a top Trump supporter, he said, I don't think it was ever a ban directed at religion. Okay, so, Brad, if it wasn't about religion, what was it?
It was a ban about religion. It's clear. And look, when Republicans don't fess up to when candidates are wrong, then they're just as wrong as the candidate. There are certain things Donald Trump said that I will never agree with. The good news is I support Donald Trump because the vast majority of his policies, economic and otherwise, I do agree with. So you got to call your candidate out when they're wrong, and I'm glad Donald Trump now has nuanced his policy. It makes sense. We shouldn't be letting people in who we can't properly vet.
So yeah, we got go ahead, Brad. David, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the best capturing of the Donald Trump situation on Muslim ban was by Newt Gingrich, who is obviously a VP candidate being reviewed by the Trump organization. But he said that Trump will evolve as the facts evolve and he learns more. And that's just very telling, because it suggests that here we are trying to elect a student. He's a good student. But in fact, we are electing a president of the United States.
But you could say the same thing about President Obama. Many people said that about him in 2008, that he had no background. So does that really fly today?
It does. Well, no, because we've seen the accomplishments of the Obama administration, and he's had good people around him, which is doubtful. We just saw 2 firings by the Trump campaign. You know, this is all Donald Trump, and you can't learn on the job.
David, we may be seeing some indictments on the Hillary side, including your candidate.
You always pull that out when
it's true.
When there's nothing
She's
else
under criminal indictment.
Yeah,
but there are no indictments.
I want to move on to the polls, because this could be a better indication of what's happening here. A real Clear Politics average of recent polls shows Hillary Clinton widening the distance on Trump, 46.4%, and Trump at 39.6%. So is this the reason why he's sort of creating this nuanced policy, kind of reading the poll tea leaves and adjusting his campaign, Brad?
You bet. He's got a lot of ground to make up. He needs a fundraising scheme, not only in battleground states but nationally. He needs an organizational structure, not relying solely on the RNC. Donald Trump has got to build out an organization that's as robust and as effective as Hillary Clinton's. Hillary Clinton's headquarters in Brooklyn looks like a Fortune 100 company. The problem is they have a failed candidate. They have a great organization. And Donald Trump needs to build out that same kind of robust political operation so that he can be competitive in November.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank you both, Brad and David, for being here. And, of course, for complete coverage on the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.